Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Metropolis Radio. Today, we are going to be talking about the Expendables 4, and more specifically, this article coming out a few days ago, why Expendables 4's villain will change the franchise. Iko Uwais will portray the main villain of the Expendables 4, and the Indonesian martial artist could embody a new kind of antagonist for the series. The villain of the Expendables 4 will be played by Indonesian martial artist legend Iko Uwais, and he could embody a different kind of antagonist than the mercenaries have ever faced before. The action hero ensemble is set to return to theaters in 2022 after a long hiatus. Well, yeah, that's what, 7 years? Yeah, because Expendables 3 came out in 2014, 2022, that'd be 7 years. No doubt skewing the PG-13 rating that was the series' undoing in the Expendables 3. Franchise mainstays like Sylvester Stallone, Jason Statham, Dolph Lundgren, and Randy Couture are back, with new cast members including Uwais as the villain, along with 50 Cent, Megan Fox, and Uwais' triple threat co-star Tony Jaa. Uwais is an obviously excellent addition to join the Expendables franchise, the Indonesian Silat virtuoso, well known for anchoring the modern action classics that are the Raid movies and many other amazing martial arts films. While The Night Comes For Us has been the only chance Uwais has really had to shine as an antagonist, the Expendables 4 could develop his Hollywood career and change that, showcasing him as a truly formidable villain. Moreover, Uwais could also be different from other villains in the Expendables franchise in one crucial way. Behind-the-scenes photos show that Uwais will have a fight scene with Lee Christmas, Jason Statham in the Expendables 4, which is a video that we've already done on this channel. And guys, ever since that video dropped, Jason Statham has released a video on Instagram actually showing the behind the scenes of that particular fight scene that we could only see in stills. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put that video right here.
Take cover! Okay, let's do a little... Yep. Very good. Hey, Shakespeare's best.
Again, you know, a little too early to call. I mean, it is promising that we are actually seeing video, but how is it going to look when it gets to the big screen? Like I said, I'm reserving my judgment for when that finally comes out in 2022. Additionally, depending on whose side Tony Jaa is on, there's a pretty decent chance that he and Uwais could face off too, presenting a rematch from their brief but blazing battle in Triple Threat. Which wasn't able to last too long due to their characters becoming allies, and Uwais being one of, if not the most renowned Silat exponent in action movies today from his overall martial arts movies, and his villain in the Expendables 4 could be the one most willing and even eager to go hand to hand with his enemies himself. The past arch-villains of the Expendables franchise have largely been henchmen reliant, and those that have been more adept fighters have been more strategic in when and where they've used their fighting skills. In the Expendables, both General Garza, David Zayas, and James Monroe, Eric Roberts, were villains who let their own hired mercenaries handle things and draw the Expendables' fire in gun battles and close quarters fights with the team. The big boss of the Expendables 3, Conrad Stonebanks, played by Mel Gibson, was more willing to jump into action himself, but the conflict was also more personal for him as the co-founder of the team, and he only fought Stallone's Barney Ross himself when his own team had been wiped out. The Expendables 2 had strong villains in Jean Valjean, played by Jean-Claude Van Damme, and his right-hand man Hector, Scott Adkins, who were also the most skilled martial artists among villains in the series thus far, each having their own showdown with Barney Ross and Lee Christmas respectively. Still, Valjean valued the loot he stood to gain from his plutonium dealing plot first and foremost. Because of that and the availability of guns, He and Hector both picked their unarmed battles only when the time called for it. As the team's arch nemesis in the Expendables 4, Iko Uwais not just genuine Silat skills and the action hero chops that are a prerequisite to be a villain of the franchise, but also something else. By the nature of his role and the potential of battles with both the grizzled Jason Statham and the martial artist Tony Jaa, Iko Uwais could end up being the first villain in the franchise with a genuine appetite for facing his enemies entirely with his fighting skill. Well, and this author doesn't bring it up in the Expendables 2. You know, we saw Jean-Claude Van Damme and Stallone go hand to hand. You know, he dropped the big ass Bowie knife down the not the chute, but you know what I mean. I know I already showed the scene, and I can't think of where he threw it, but you know, the idea that, you know, Iko Uwais is going to change the franchise, I don't think he's going to change the franchise as much as Brad Curran, as much as Brad Curran, the writer of this article, really thinks he will. Because as they've brought up, the Expendables 2 already brought in those martial arts skills. So unless if they plan on turning this into Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon with guns, I don't think it's going to really change the franchise, because you can't get away from the firearms. Is there potential to see more hand-to-hand combat? There's always that potential, but that doesn't mean that it's going to come to fruition. Again, we're going to have to wait and see whether or not, like, truly more hand-to-hand combat is going to come out of this entry. And guys, that's pretty much all I've got for you right now. If you stuck around this long, thanks so much for doing so. And if you've been following me long enough, you know I'm terrible at ending these videos, so I will just see you guys next time.